It's a hive of activity, this being on the last day of AGOA here in the exhibition hub. This is where this afternoon we've seen the Minister of Small Business Development, this being Minister Stella Ndabeni-Abrahams, just doing a walkabout, really just looking at these entities and interacting with some of the role players that are here. Small businesses, remember, we've been saying that they also don't want to be left behind. So we see them here just interacting with the Minister this afternoon, showcasing what's on offer from South Africa, all in efforts to ensure that they are not left behind. They form part of this market. Most of them, some of them have been trading already under AGOA. Some are inspiring to really form part of those that are actually exhibiting here. I'm going to bring the Minister into the conversation this afternoon, who'll just give us a sense of what she experienced. I see a lot of people are happy to have you this afternoon. They even gifted you with some of the products to show you that indeed they are market ready and they're ready to showcase what's on offer from South Africa to the world. Welcome to the SABC. How important is it that really we get a sense of positioning these businesses not to be left behind where AGOA is concerned?
It is very important that we position these businesses not only to South Africans but to the entire world. Remember, we're talking about the access to markets, and now having them to interact with other companies, it means it's exposure to business, just like it's exposure to consumers that may be looking at buying their own products. But for us as South Africa, it's a great story to tell. Show the world that our people are not only eating, they're innovative, they are productive. Here's a great story. I'm sure you have walked around, you've seen so many small businesses in the different sectors, and all that work is being done by our own people here at home and in the continent.
Most of them, small businesses, what they're anticipating is to get funding so they can be able to really produce some of these products rapidly, so they can also be able to just meet the regulation standards in terms of is preferring here. Are we seeing the Small Business Development Department coming through to support them, the infrastructure development as well, so they can thrive and produce some of those products and that they're market ready come the time when we expand AGOA post 2025?
Actually, we've got more than 40 SMMEs that have been supported by SEDA here, and all of them are export ready. Of course, we do not only say we're going to help you with the registration, with the regulations, we also say we pay for you to go outside the country. We bring business to business in all the exports that we're going to. As things stand, I'm going to China. We have another team that is going to fashion industry. We've been doing that, taking all these entrepreneurs that are export ready to outside the country so that they can showcase and get clients on the other side. But most importantly, when AGOA comes 2025, we are certain that we would have been grown in terms of the numbers that are here, but also definitely will be telling a story that we are occupying the entire world through the products that are there. Whether you're talking about the clothing industry, there's nice shoes by about Totlejo, there's groupings from beverages, there are others that are dealing with trade in terms of gold. So there's a lot that is happening in our country, and yes, AGOA is a big thing for us, and that's why our SMMEs can never be left behind.
It speaks also to issues of job creation. Minister, we know very well that the unemployment rate in the country is something that is a cause for concern, even hearing from the mid-term budget policy statement by the Minister of Finance just this week about how we need to ensure that we create industries that create jobs and it feeds into the economy. Let us in on how important then that would be the economy of the country for these markets to be tapped into.
Actually, the national plan, which is our guiding plan in this country, says South Africa must create 11 million jobs by 2030. And it says 90% of those will come from small enterprises. And this is why, as government, we are committed in the different sectors that we're involved in to support the small businesses to make sure that they can create the jobs. Whether you read research findings, they will tell you that large corporates are not creating jobs. Yes, they are good for purposes. When you need jobs, you've got to invest in small businesses. That's why we are calling everyone, including yourselves, to be the mouthpiece that encourages people to support the small businesses so that we can create the jobs. When we create the jobs, then people are able to pay for certain services, and then they can come and tax them when the time is right.
It also speaks to the Africa Free Continental Trade area, where we're seeing the intra-Africa trade, where we're seeing some of these businesses saying that we need to ensure that we more or less trade amongst each other as well within the African continent so that we find ourselves really being able to penetrate some of the markets in the east, in the north, in a way that it will all come back home to benefit South Africa and the continent.
Collaboration is the best way to go. When we trade with each other, we're bound to succeed. And that's why we came up with the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement. But the worst thing that we would have done if we were to fail these businesses was not to look at the conducive environment. And that's why, as the respective countries, all the governments are looking at that to say we've got to look at tax implications, we've got to look at regulatory cases, we've got to look at other things, visas and everything, in order to enable trade amongst these countries, because we are a formidable army as the continent itself. Therefore, when we trade amongst ourselves, we're able to occupy certain space. Even in the fourth industrial revolution, as we talk about technology, we've got lots of minerals that can computer screens, cell phone screens, and many other things. The critical minerals are found in this continent, and therefore we are saying it's high time for Africa.
Where to from here? Just before I let you go, post AGOA, we're waiting for 2025. Just let us in on the last day, today being the last day of AGOA. Where to from here, especially those that operate under the Department of Small Business Development?
Well, it doesn't end here. Right on the 17th of we are hosting the Presidential SMME and Cooperatives Awards, where we're getting people that have been competing within the coming to showcase and being awarded. And as that happens, we're not only recognizing talent, but we're also incentivizing to say we are helping you to grow your business. And this is a story that we're saying every day we've got to keep up coming, we've got to keep telling, so that our people can know that other people are doing things, whilst others will read and write about the things that are being done by others.
Minister Stella Ndabeni-Abrahams, thank you very much for your time.